Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Data here with some breaking news in the NHL this evening as Nils Lundkvist, formerly of the New York Rangers, one of the higher prospects in their system, a great defenseman in their pipeline, gets traded 3 days after requesting a trade to the Dallas Stars in exchange for a 2023 first-round pick. So the Rangers get a first-round pick from Dallas as they move just a straight-up 2023 first in exchange for Lundkvist. So it's a very interesting trade. The Rangers get, a player who didn't want to be there out for a first, but the Stars get a very good prospect. They just lost John Klingberg. They get a great puck-moving defenseman. Dare I say an offensive defenseman, but I've seen different comparisons to his two-way game. He moves the puck well. He skates well. He's not just pure offense. He's a very good all-around defenseman with a great offensive flair. The first-round pick is from 2023. I'll bring up the tweet in just a moment as I pull it up here with breaking news in the NHL. It is a top 10 protected first-round pick, so it will become a 2024 first without restriction should the Stars 2023 first be a top 10 pick. Larry Brooks breaking that over on Twitter. So showing this here on showing my screen with you here on Twitter. There we go. Larry Brooks, Nils Lundkvist to Dallas for a top 10 protected 2023 first rounder, confirmed. Top 10 that it rolls over. It rolls over if top 10 to 2024 without restriction. Could be another component coming to New York, according to Larry Brooks, but Frank Sarvalli did not report on anything else there. It could be a conditional fourth as well being reported here. So a conditional first may happen as well. A conditional fourth, may come as well in addition to that first, which is, you can call it a conditional first, but it's a first, whether it be this year or next year. So sound off down here in the comments. Who wins this trade? Does Dallas get the better player despite trading the higher pick? Or does New York just, it was better to cut him loose and getting a first round pick, which will guaranteed be this year or next year, is getting making the best lemonade out of some tough lemons. Jacob says it's a Rangers win on that one. Slim says Stars win this trade here. That's the thing in Owen. You can't trade picks around NHL. That's the unfortunate part, even though you can move the player. Darth, good protection there. Interesting. Owen as well, following up one more time. Pretty good trade, but I think Rangers win because they get a first for a player who didn't want to play there. That's fair enough. Straight up in value, will Lundkvist be worth more than a first-round pick in his future career? Definitely possible. But it's always tough to squeeze a first as a return for a player who has requested a trade. Only 3 days ago did he request a trade, and 3 days later he's moved for a first-round pick. Very interesting. So if you don't know Nils Lundkvist, pulling up some of his numbers here, we see, wrong one. Elite Prospects going to tell us some of his stuff, some of his stats over in Europe. He's had some good numbers in Sweden because there hasn't been a lot of numbers to look at in the NHL, obviously. So he has been, as I said, good offensive flair, 19 points in 21 games in back when he was captaining this U18 team, I believe, in 2016-17. 14 points here in the 20 and under league. International World Juniors, 6 points in 16 games with Sweden under 18. Then he starts moving into the SHL in 2018-19, puts up 10 points in 41 games, very impressive. 31 points in 45 games, and then 32 points in 52 games as a defenseman in a highly rated European league. Very impressive stuff. 10 points in 11 games between all of his international Sweden appearances in 2020-21. In the NHL, 4 points in 25 games and 15 points in 34 games in the AHL. Great point production. But in the NHL, I don't know if the Rangers weren't happy with him, if things weren't going well. He wasn't surrounded by the best line mates either. His results weren't great. When you're playing with Patrick Nemeth and you're an offensive guy, it's tough. So the Stars, they do not have their first round pick anymore this season, assuming they don't finish as a bottom 10 team. So now in 2023, they only have their second, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, no first and no third for Dallas. And it's tough because they have some contracts they would want to move. They're not really in win now mode. Maybe they might feel like it, but I don't feel like their roster is in win now mode. So it's tough to lose assets like that. It's a lot. So the trade itself here, Juice, I'll pick you up here. It's Nils Lundkvist from the Rangers to the Dallas Stars for a 2023 top 10 protected first round pick. If that 2023 first from Dallas is a top 10 pick, it becomes an unprotected 2024 first round pick. And there's also supposedly a conditional fourth in the deal as well. So yes, it does sound like Dallas kind of wants to go all in, but it is Dallas's pick. I don't know if I'm sold on Dallas being that, it's a good move for the future, but I'm not sold on Dallas being that team right now. Trying to see if it's a high upside gamble for the Stars, and it's a good piece of business for the Rangers, according to Jay Fresh here. The Stars may have found their right D replacement for John Klingberg, reading from Dave Pagnotta. I'm going to pull up Jay Fresh's analytics here as well on Nils Lundkvist while we're looking. Let me pull that up on Twitter and Twitter sphere. And the Rangers, by the way, now with that first round pick in their system, they now have 2 firsts, a second, Colorado's third, no fourth, no fifth, 2 sixths, and a 7th. So not bad to not have their own third, fourth, and fifth to recoup Colorado's third and Dallas's first. Not a bad little stockpile-ish of picks to have there. Not bad. So pulling up the numbers here from Nils Lundkvist, according to Jay Fresh, obviously take them with a grain of salt. I'm more interested in this description. He's a young offensive defenseman whose rookie results don't look nearly as bad once you adjust for the very poor line mates he was deployed next to. He was ranked number 38 on EP Rinkside's list of top prospects in the NHL. Strong production in Sweden prior to heading to North America. He played tiny depth minutes next to mostly a deeply struggling Patrick Nemeth. So I wouldn't put too much stock in these analytics. It's more what the quote there is on the side. Nils Lundkvist, I think he could be a great, elite, talented, top 4 puck-moving, offensive type defenseman with great two-way ability. And, for now you can say New York wins because they get a first for a player that they weren't going to use, but it's tough. Yeah, don't underestimate the Stars. It's more if Sagan and Ben and all these guys can find their form. Because Robertson's great, Ottinger's nice on that contract if they can sign Robertson. The defense looks better now. With that right side looks a lot stronger, even though he's a rookie who's going to take some time. It's not like we're talking about a 20-year-old here. Nils Lundkvist, he is 22. He's had a lot of time. He's had 3 full seasons. Let me put in the SHL. 45 plus 52 plus 41 plus 28. The man's played 166 games in the SHL. He's played with men. He's played against men. He has played at high caliber levels. He's going to do well, but he's going to still take some time. He's not going to be the piece that the Stars want just yet. The piece that they want is the guy that they're buying into the potential of who will come years down the road. He's not there yet, obviously, and they're paying a lot for that upside. It could be very much worth it, but for a team that it's tough because they're not, a team that pays a 2023 first, that season's first, when they want to get a piece that's going to put them over the top, usually not a piece that's going to help them down the road. I don't know if the Stars are done drafting yet. I would still want to keep my first in case I'm, if I finish 19th in the NHL next year, and when I'm drafting 19th next season, I'm not quite at that range yet where I'm feeling like I can toss away my first round picks because they'll be 28, 29, 30, right? So I think that's what I have to say about Nils Lundkvist. That's my instant analysis, instant thoughts on the trade. Rangers get a first. Dallas gets the better player longer term. Rangers are happy. Both teams are happy right now. That's the key. That's what makes a trade good. Both teams are happy, and it's very fair when it happens. Now, when we revisit it down the road, who does that first round pick become? What kind of position does Lundkvist have in the Dallas blue line in the future? Now that is what will be interesting. But for right now, both teams are happy, and I'm listening to both sides here. Leave your thoughts on the trade itself down in the comments. We'll have some more discussions over on the Discord server. But I'm very curious to hear. I feel like it's gonna be pretty even. I think it's gonna be pretty even for when it comes to who won this trade. I'm just scrolling through Twitter if I can get anything on the conditions of the 4th. I'm not seeing it. I don't think I'm going to wait all night just to get the conditions on a 4th round pick. But just a first, whether it be this year or next year, and a conditional 4th going to the New York Rangers in exchange for Nils Lundkvist, a very exciting prospect. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this quick little piece of breaking news in the NHL. Not a long video, not a lot of us joining us, very understandably so. So if you're watching it after we've already gone live, you can leave a comment with your thoughts or join us on the Discord server. Subscribe if you haven't already for NHL 22 and soon NHL 23 content, as well as videos like these, breaking news and analysis in the real world of hockey. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in this evening. Have a great rest of your night. It's a very interesting trade that it's going to lead to a lot of intrigue in the future, one of those trade trees of the future. And this is a video that I revisit 4 or 5 years time from now, and I revisit listening to myself. If only I knew who that first round pick became. If only I knew Lundkvist would be the next John Klingberg for Dallas. That's the tough part. But thank you for being here. Have yourselves a great rest of your evening, and we'll all talk soon. Good night.